What if I told you that no one can actually insult you, unless you let them? It sounds impossible, right? Because words hurt. Being disrespected, misunderstood, or attacked, those moments cut deep. We replay them in our heads, sometimes for days. We feel the sting of someone's tone, or the disrespect behind their smile, and our mind takes over. But the ancient Stoics believed something radically different, that insults only have the power we give them. They taught that the moment someone offends you, you have a choice, to react, or to remain free. Today, we're going to uncover the Stoic trick that allows you to never be insulted again. A mental discipline that turns every insult into an opportunity for calm, mastery, and even growth. Part 1. Why we feel insulted. Let's start with something simple. Why do insults hurt so much? It's not just the words. It's what those words mean to us. When someone says, "You're lazy," or "You're useless," it stings because it touches something we already fear might be true. Or it challenges how we see ourselves. The Stoics understood this perfectly. Epictetus wrote, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." In other words, it's not the insult itself that hurts, it's the meaning we attach to it. If someone called you a purple octopus, you wouldn't be offended. You'd probably laugh. Because deep down, you know it's not true. But when someone says something that touches your ego, your pride, or your identity, suddenly it burns. The Stoic insight? The pain of insult comes from within you, not from the person speaking. Part 2. The Stoic view of insults. The Stoics were insulted constantly, mocked, banished, even enslaved. Yet they developed one of the most powerful mental responses in history: indifference. Seneca once said, "No one can cause you harm unless you allow it." Epictetus, who was born a slave, went even further. "If a man tells you you are a fool, you may at once make your peace with it. For if you are not what he says, then it is not your concern. If you are, then you should be grateful for being told." That's pure Stoic brilliance. If someone insults you and they're wrong, why be offended? It's a lie. It doesn't touch reality. If they're right, why be offended? You just received free feedback. That's the essence of Stoic freedom. You can't be hurt by truth or by lies. Part 3. The trick, reframing the insult. Here's the Stoic trick itself: pause, interpret, and reframe. When an insult comes your way, don't react. Pause. That pause is power. It's the small gap between stimulus and response, and it's where freedom lies. Next, interpret. Ask yourself, what is this person really saying? Are they trying to hurt me? Are they projecting their own pain? Or are they simply mistaken? Then, reframe. Instead of seeing the insult as an attack, see it as information about them, not you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When another blames you or hates you, or people voice similar criticisms, go to their souls, penetrate inside and see what sort of people they are. You will realize that there is no need to be racked with anxiety that they should hold any particular opinion about you." In other words, if a person's character isn't admirable, why let their opinion shape your peace? Part 4. The example of Socrates. One of the Stoics' greatest heroes was Socrates. He was constantly mocked, insulted, and provoked, yet he never lost his composure. When someone told him, "You are the most arrogant man alive," Socrates calmly replied, "Perhaps you know me better than I know myself." He didn't argue. He didn't defend. He turned the insult into curiosity. That's the Stoic mindset in action, the ability to stay calm because your self-worth doesn't depend on anyone else's words. Socrates had what the Stoics later called apatheia, not apathy, but freedom from being ruled by emotion. And the key to reaching that level of composure is realizing that insults only hurt when they hit a wound that's still open inside you. Part 5. The real reason we react. Let's be honest, we react because we care. We care what people think. We crave approval. We want to be liked, respected, understood. But the Stoics remind us that these are dangerous dependencies. Epictetus said, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." That line sounds harsh until you understand what he meant. True growth begins the moment you stop needing validation from others. Because if you depend on praise, you'll be destroyed by criticism. The Stoic solution is self-sufficiency, to root your sense of worth in your actions and your principles, not in the opinions of others. Marcus Aurelius put it beautifully. "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinion of others." When you stop living for other people's approval, insults lose all their power. Part 6, turning an insult into strength. Here's where Stoicism becomes not just theory but transformation. Next time someone insults you, use it as a mirror. If there's truth in their words, use it as a chance to grow. If there's no truth, use it as a chance to practice composure. Either way, you win. Seneca advised, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. If someone calls you lazy, prove them wrong with action. If someone calls you weak, respond with quiet strength. If someone mocks you, stay calm, and you instantly rise above them. Because nothing disarms an insulter faster than dignity. When you don't react, they lose control. The insult collapses. And you remain untouched, not because you're numb, but because you're free. Part 7, the Stoic practice of inner dialogue. The Stoics had a powerful mental exercise for dealing with provocation. Marcus Aurelius used it daily in his journal. When he felt anger rising, he would talk to himself, calmly and rationally. You have power over your mind, not outside events. He reminded himself that anger, hurt, or offense were choices. Reflexes of the untrained mind. You can practice this too. When someone says something offensive, internally say, I don't control what they say. I only control my response. This instantly resets your perspective. You move from being a victim of words to being the master of your emotions. It's simple, but it takes practice, and that's what Stoicism really is, the daily training of the mind. Part 8, seeing the insulter with compassion. Here's something the Stoics understood that most people today forget. When someone insults you, they're revealing their suffering, not your flaws. Marcus Aurelius wrote, whenever you are offended at someone's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger. He believed that understanding human weakness leads to compassion, not contempt. When you see that angry person or that sarcastic critic for what they really are, hurt, insecure, afraid, the insult stops being personal. You start to see them the way a doctor sees a patient, not as an enemy, but as someone who's unwell. That's how you rise above without arrogance. You replace anger with empathy, and suddenly, peace returns. Part 9, the Stoic visualization exercise. Try this practice. Imagine yourself as a mountain. Around you, people shout, winds blow, storms rage, but you remain still. The wind can't move you. The storm can't harm you. You simply exist, grounded and unmoved. That's the Stoic image of inner strength. Marcus Aurelius described it perfectly. Be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved, and the raging of the sea falls still around it. Each insult, each criticism, is just another wave. It can roar, it can foam, but it cannot break you unless you let it in. Over time, this visualization rewires your instinctive reaction. The next time someone lashes out, your mind automatically returns to calm, to that mountain, to that rock. Part 10, the final freedom. The Stoics believe that true freedom isn't political or physical, it's mental. Freedom is being unshaken when others lose control. Freedom is not needing to prove your worth. Freedom is the ability to stay calm, even when provoked. Epictetus summed it up like this. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. When you understand that insults fall into that category, beyond your control, they lose their meaning. You can walk through life untouchable, not because you never face criticism, but because you no longer absorb it. So here's the Stoic trick, in simple form: pause before reacting. Ask if it's true. If yes, learn from it. If no, ignore it. Stay grounded in your own character. Respond, if at all, with dignity and silence. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, faced endless criticism. Yet his writings never complain. They focus only on what he could control: his thoughts, his actions, his peace. That's the mindset of someone who has mastered himself. The next time someone tries to insult you, remember this: no one can harm you without your permission. And that permission, you never have to give again.